Right now, as you're watching this video, there are two people sitting in identical rooms. Same education, same opportunities, same starting capital. But in 5 years, one will be wealthy beyond measure, and the other will still be struggling to make ends meet. The difference isn't luck. It isn't talent. It isn't even hard work. It's something far more powerful. Something happening right between your ears, right at this very moment. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability when it comes to wealth. And here's what nobody tells you. Wealthy people don't just think differently. They've literally rewired their brains to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to take action where others freeze, and to build empires where others build excuses. Stay with me for the next 12 minutes, because I'm going to show you exactly how to reprogram your mind for wealth, using the same techniques that turned ordinary people into millionaires. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many times this week did you think, I can't afford that? Now, how many times did you think, how can I afford that? That split-second difference. That's the poverty program running in your brain. From the moment you were born, you were being programmed. Your parents, your teachers, your society, they installed a software in your mind about money. And for most of us, that software is designed to keep us safe, not make us wealthy. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard for money. Be grateful for what you have. These aren't just phrases. They're neural pathways. They're literal circuits in your brain that fire every time you encounter a financial decision, and they're keeping you poor. Here's the neuroscience. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system. It's like a filter that determines what information gets through to your conscious awareness. And this filter is programmed by your beliefs. If you believe money is hard to come by, your RAS will filter out opportunities and only show you evidence that confirms that belief. You'll literally be blind to the money-making opportunities right in front of your face. The wealthy, they've reprogrammed their RAS to spot opportunities everywhere. They see potential income streams where you see regular conversations. They see assets where you see expenses. The first step to training your mind for wealth is recognizing that you're running someone else's program. And it's time to write your own code. Let me tell you about a study that changed everything for me. Researchers studied 500 self-made millionaires for 5 years. They wanted to know, what do wealthy people do differently in the first hour of their day? Here's what they found. 81% of wealthy people spend the first hour of their day programming their mind for success before they check their phone, before they check email, before the world's chaos enters their consciousness. They're not just waking up and reacting to life. They're intentionally designing their mental state. Think about how you start your day. Be honest. You probably grab your phone within minutes of opening your eyes. You scroll through social media, check the news, read emails. You're letting other people's priorities, other people's emergencies, other people's content flood your mind before you've had a single original thought. You're giving away your most valuable mental real estate, the fresh, clean slate of your morning mind, to algorithms designed to keep you distracted, not make you wealthy. Wealthy people do something radically different. They use the first hour for what I call mental wealth training. 15 minutes of visualization, seeing their goals as already achieved. 15 minutes of learning something new that moves them toward their goals. 15 minutes of planning their day around their priorities, not other people's urgencies. And 15 minutes of physical movement to energize their body and sharpen their mind. This isn't motivation, this is neural programming. When you visualize your wealthy future with emotional intensity, your brain literally cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. It starts building the neural pathways for that reality. It starts looking for ways to make it happen. When you learn something new every morning, you're creating new neural connections. You're literally making yourself smarter, more capable, more valuable. When you plan your day around your goals, you're training your brain to prioritize wealth-building activities over time-wasting reactions. This 1-hour investment in your mind compounds like interest. Do it for 30 days, and you'll have a different brain than the person you are right now. Here's something that will blow your mind. The words you use don't just describe your reality, they create it. Neuroscientists have discovered that language actually reshapes your brain. Every word you speak strengthens certain neural pathways and weakens others. Your vocabulary is literally programming your neurology. Poor people say, "I can't afford it." Wealthy people say, "How can I afford it?" Do you see the difference? One statement shuts down your brain. The other activates problem-solving mode. Poor people say, "That's too expensive." Wealthy people say, "That's an investment." Poor people say, "I'll never be rich." Wealthy people say, "I'm building wealth." These aren't just semantic differences. These are fundamental programming differences. When you say, "I can't," your brain literally stops looking for solutions. It's a command to cease all creative thinking. But when you ask, "How can I?" your brain has no choice but to search for answers. You've given it a problem to solve, and that's what brains do. They solve problems. Starting today, I want you to do something radical. Become a language detective. For the next 7 days, catch yourself every single time you use poverty language. Don't judge it, just notice it. "I can't afford it." Catch. Replace it with, "What would I need to do to afford this?" "Money is tight right now." Catch. Replace it with, "I'm creating new income streams." "I'm broke." Catch. Replace it with, "I'm between financial breakthroughs." This sounds simple, maybe even silly, but this practice is rewiring your neural pathways. After 30 days of conscious language replacement, you'll have literally built new circuits in your brain, circuits that automatically look for wealth opportunities instead of obstacles. Your words are spells. You're either casting spells of poverty or spells of wealth. Choose wisely. Now we get to the part that separates the dreamers from the doers, the wannabes from the wealthy. Your brain has one primary job: keep you alive, not make you wealthy, not make you happy, just keep you breathing. And to your brain, anything unfamiliar equals dangerous. Anything uncomfortable equals threat. This is why every time you think about starting that business, investing that money, having that uncomfortable conversation, or making that bold move, you feel fear. Your brain sounds the alarm. Danger, unknown territory, retreat to safety. And most people obey that alarm their entire lives. They stay in their comfort zone, which is really just a polite name for the poverty zone. Because here's the truth bomb: wealth lives in discomfort. Every single wealthy person I've studied has one thing in common. They became comfortable being uncomfortable. They trained their nervous system to interpret discomfort as growth, not danger. Think about it. Your first cold call? Uncomfortable. Your first business pitch? Uncomfortable. Your first investment? Uncomfortable. Your first hire, fire, product launch, public speech? All uncomfortable. Wealthy people don't feel less fear than you. They've just trained their minds to move forward despite the fear. Here's how you do it. Start with micro discomforts. Every single day, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable. And I mean small things at first. Take a different route to work. Order something new at your regular restaurant. Strike up a conversation with a stranger. Post that idea you've been holding back. Send that email you've been avoiding. Why? Because you're training your nervous system. You're teaching your brain that discomfort doesn't equal death. You're building your discomfort tolerance like a muscle. After 30 days of daily micro discomforts, your baseline for what feels scary completely shifts. What terrified you last month becomes your new normal. And here's where it gets powerful. The wealthy opportunities in your life, the ones that would actually change your financial situation, they're all hiding behind your biggest fears. That business idea you're scared to start? There's wealth there. That investment you're afraid to make? There's wealth there. That skill you're intimidated to learn? There's wealth there. Your fears are actually a GPS system pointing you toward your fortune. The bigger the fear, the bigger the potential reward. So stop running from discomfort. Start running toward it. Because on the other side of every fear you face is a version of you who's closer to wealthy. Here's a statistic that should wake you up. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, including their income. Look at your 5 closest friends. Add up their incomes and divide by 5. That number is probably shockingly close to your own income. This isn't a coincidence. This is neuroscience. Your brain has something called mirror neurons. These neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform that action. They're the reason yawning is contagious. They're also the reason poverty and wealth are contagious. When you surround yourself with people who complain about money, your mirror neurons fire. You're literally practicing poverty consciousness, even when you're not the one complaining. When you surround yourself with people who build businesses, invest wisely, and think abundantly, your mirror neurons fire. You're practicing wealth consciousness by proximity. Your network is programming your net worth. Now, I'm not telling you to dump your broke friends, but I am telling you that if you want to be wealthy, you need to intentionally engineer your environment to include people who are where you want to be. How do you do this? Join masterminds, attend conferences, engage in online communities where wealthy people share strategies, find mentors, hire coaches, invest in rooms where everyone's playing a bigger game than you. And here's what happens. When you're the least wealthy person in the room, your brain automatically starts studying everyone else. What do they read? How do they think? What do they do differently? Your brain becomes a wealth absorption machine. But when you're the wealthiest person in your circle, your brain gets complacent. There's no one to model, no one to challenge you, no one to pull you up. This is why wealthy people invest thousands to be in exclusive rooms with other wealthy people. They're not buying information. They're buying neural programming through proximity. Your current circle is either pulling you toward wealth or anchoring you to poverty. Look around, be honest, then make the hard decisions necessary to upgrade your network. Let me leave you with the most powerful mind training technique I know, something I call the daily wealth practice. Every night before bed, for just 10 minutes, you're going to do 3 things. First, gratitude accounting. Write down 3 specific things you're grateful for about your current financial situation, no matter how small. Maybe it's that you have a roof over your head. Maybe it's that you earned $20 today. Maybe it's that you have the opportunity to watch this video and learn. Why? Because gratitude rewires your brain for abundance. When you focus on what you have, your RAS starts showing you more of what you have. Gratitude is the foundation of a wealthy mind. Second, evidence collection. Write down 3 pieces of evidence from today that prove you're becoming wealthy. Maybe you had a business idea. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you saved $5. Maybe you had a conversation that could lead to an opportunity. You're training your brain to look for evidence of your wealth journey. What you look for, you find more of. This practice is literally reprogramming your filter. Third, future memory creation. Close your eyes and visualize in vivid detail your life 1 year from today as a wealthy person. What are you doing? Where are you living? How do you feel? What does your bank account look like? Who are you with? What did you do today that generated income? Make it so real that you can feel the emotions. Feel the pride. Feel the freedom. Feel the gratitude. Feel the excitement. This isn't fantasy. This is neural programming. Your brain starts building the pathways to make that vision real. It starts making decisions aligned with that future. It starts seeing opportunities that lead to that outcome. 10 minutes, every single night, for 90 days. After 90 days, you won't recognize your own mind. Opportunities that were invisible will be obvious. Actions that felt impossible will feel inevitable. Your relationship with money will be completely transformed. Look, here's the truth. The world is full of people with better education than you who are broke. People with better connections who are struggling. People with better opportunities who are stuck. The difference between them and the wealthy isn't external, it's internal. Your mind is the most powerful wealth-building tool you'll ever possess. But most people never learn how to use it. They let it run on default programming, installed by people who were never wealthy themselves. You now have the blueprint. You know how to reprogram your RAS, how to use language as a tool, how to embrace discomfort, how to leverage your network, and how to practice wealth consciousness daily. The question is, will you do it? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. And you didn't watch this video to be entertained. You watched it to be transformed. Your wealthy mind is waiting. It's time to claim it. If this message woke something up inside you, don't let it fade. Hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-shifting messages, and share this video with someone who's ready to break free from the limits of average thinking. Because the truth is simple. When you train your mind to be wealthy, your life will have no choice but to follow. I'll see you at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.